Hello, everybody. Fourth in forever. NBA Finals. We made it, Cameron. We made the NBA Finals. And not only that, we had a great conference finals, too, and we're going to talk about it with y'all now. And I know you're excited, Cameron. I know you have a lot to talk about. We'll have some college basketball stuff to end the show. I got a new college eligibility rule with all this stuff going around. I wanted to go ahead and fix it. So
Okay.
towards the end of our NBA talk, when we're talking college, I'll release my new eligibility rule that the NCAA should follow. But before we get to that, Cameron, how are you doing, man? How was your weekend? How has basketball been for you, man? I know this is like your best time of year, so I know you're all excited. But tell us how it's been.
I have never been happier in my life than. And let me paint the picture. My girlfriend has a sister. Little known fact. Her parents had more than one kid,
Had a sister,
and
probably still has her, right?
still has her. In fact, has two.
Oh, okay, okay.
So curveball there, and one of those sisters
The
went
weed
into
whacker
labor.
incident had a sister.
The weed whacker incident of 2003. One of those sisters had a kid last week, and my girlfriend, being a good sister, left and went to go be there, which
Oh, I
means
thought you meant left the hospital to not be with her.
no, left me temporarily
Gotcha.
to
Okay.
go be there, meaning I was unencumbered for game seven. It was just me. I had like 4 days of me not doing anything, which just resulted in like how much Diet or Coke Zero can I consume during this basketball
Zero.
game? And dude, it was way too much.
I don't have anyone telling me to stop. This is
Right.
dangerous.
Nobody was telling me not to yell at the TV. Nobody was telling me quiet. The neighbors are going to report you. So I was MF in the TV. I was up on my feet. It was a wonderful weekend. Anyway, how were you?
I'm doing good, Cameron. Maybe not as well as you, man. That sounds awesome, man. I no, I love I do like absorbing sports in like an environment where like I'm not going to be bothered at all. And the only thing that can bother me is whoever's texting me, and even then it's
It's
like
usually me.
it's always
It's
you, and
usually
I'm
me.
okay with that.
Yeah.
I'll ignore the text from my wife or my parents or like my siblings, but like not Cameron.
In my girlfriend's defense, she never bothers me. She usually will sit there and go, "He looks weird," talking about Wemby. So, shout out. Technically not my nephew, but the child of my
I mean,
girlfriend's sister.
will I mean I guess I won't say will be, but because you never know.
Presumably should be if all
Presume.
goes according to plan.
Yeah.
Shout out him. And then I guess a
Bro
good
missed
part.
everything. Bro missed the conference finals.
Dude, you weren't even alive when Wemby went off. You weren't even
You
alive,
weren't even
man.
fucking there, dude. You were born into this shit, man.
He was actually born into Thunder fandom.
Oh no.
His dad is a Thunder fan, so it was a tough moment to be like, I I have a child. Oh, the Thunder lost. Is this kid bad luck?
Was the kid born before Game 7?
The kid was born a couple of days before Game 7. Yeah.
Oh, that stings, man.
The kid might have actually been born on Game 6. I need to go back and check.
That's kind of crazy.
This kid may have been awful luck.
He's never seen a Thunder win in his life. That's crazy. Wow, I heard this was the best team ever, and I've never in my life seen them win. How are people going to tell me that? How am I supposed to believe that? All right, let's get into this Eastern Conference, Cameron. I was telling you before we cracked the mics that this has been one of the best conference finals, and I mean I know the West obviously was very historic, but even the East, like I think I know it was a 4-0 sweep, but I think there's a big takeaway here, and this is where I'll start off and say that I was wrong about the East, not just the East, but the New York Knicks. They are so much fun, and not only that, they are incredibly dangerous. It kind of landed to me. Sorry, it kind of landed on like, are they going to be able to lean on Jalen Brunson like through the whole playoffs? And most likely it's like, yeah, you have your superstar you can lean on, but there's a good supporting cast around, and there's a good supporting cast on this Knicks team, but we just weren't sure how far they were going to go And the more they just annihilate these teams as they get further and further, I'm just dialed into these Knicks right now, man. And obviously, like we'll get into it more in our finals preview, but I don't think this is going to be an easy series, and I'm actually having a hard time still deciding who I think is going to win this series. It's pretty evenly matched. I know Wemby is obviously the outlier, but like you look at guard play, like post play, deep bench, like these teams both have that. It's just a very well coached, well constructed roster, and obviously the two best teams are here now. So we're here. We're down to the final two. I'll let you kind of take over, Cameron, on the East a little bit, but that's just kind of my takeaway from it. Is I think maybe I underestimated the Knicks a little bit, and I was wrong. So I'll admit that. But I'll decide as we talk further who I want to win in the finals, because like I said, I still don't know. It's such a tough pick, man, and I'll let you take over, Cameron. I'm sorry, I don't have much to say on the East, and we'll get more to it once we get to our finals talk. But what do you got?
James Harden has once again fucked up everything I love and care about. I don't have that stronger feelings towards Cavs. And I don't want to necessarily blame the sweep on James Harden. Like, that's not fair.
Right.
He did go 2 of 8 and 0 of 6 from 3. So, like, not a rousing victory, or not a rousing performance that would lead you to victory, one would say. I cannot imagine my prediction aging any poorer than this.
I mean, not really, man. You called the Cavs before they even had James Harden. You called the Cavs to the finals, and like that's pretty impressive. That like you called that back then without James Harden, and you saw that in them from the start. And it's
I guess what I'm saying is tragic is going out 4-0. Like,
yeah.
like I would have rather you just missed the playoffs, man. Like at least then I can take my hits early. Now it's like, oh, I have to sit here and aura gamble on like, can James Harden and Donovan Mitchell protect my sanity? The answer is no.
I can't believe a guy who fluctuates his weight so much is 38 years old, has never ever made a good deep playoff run, just couldn't get it done in the playoffs. I can't believe that didn't happen.
Can't believe a guy who hasn't been to the finals since OKC was sixth man.
Right.
Couldn't get it done here.
A guy who's never led a team before to the finals didn't get it done.
So I have a little bit on the Cavs, and then we can go into the Knicks, because Bing Bong, Knicks are back,
Bong
man.
Knicks, man.
The big thing, and this is not like a new thought, is like, what the fuck are the Cavs supposed to do from this point? Like, if you'll remember,
I think I have something, but go on.
the collapse last year against the Pacers, where Tyrese Halliburton, en route to being the Halliban, sent them packing early. There were questions of like, what are you supposed to do with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Evan Mobley? You're kind of three big contracts. Contract talk, woo, everybody's favorite. Evan Mobley's owed $50 million next year. Donovan Mitchell is owed $50 million next year. James Harden is owed $42 million next year. That's $140 million out of whatever the actual cap is. Like literally the next highest paid person is Jared Allen at $28 million. Like you have 3 massive contracts here, and I'm just not sure where you're supposed to go. Like, you made the East Finals. That is something to be lauded. And the thing, if you're an Eastern Conference team, to think about is like, the East is, for the next 5 years, probably never going to be worse than it was this year. Like, the Celtics were without Tatum for most of the year. Embiid was hit or miss, and presumably the Sixers would be better with
the
more
Pistons
consistency.
will obviously get better as well.
The Pistons, you'd expect internal improvement to come from. The Raptors are kind of trying to figure it out, but then like the Wizards are going to have Trey and AD, and presumably the number 1 overall pick. Charlotte was a scary-ish play-in team that should get better. The Magic eventually might be a threat. Like,
Maybe.
maybe. Like, the East is kind of slowly congealing into something formidable, I would assume.
Sorry to interrupt you, Cameron, but it's also
Yeah.
assumed that Giannis will end up on probably, maybe most likely a team in the East.
Dude, I've blocked out Giannis from my from my memory. Yeah, you're right. Giannis could king make anybody. Hear me out, Evan Mobley for Giannis. Who says no?
Who says no? Probably all of them, but
But yeah, so that's the big looming question: is like, what do the Cavs do with their contract situation? They brought back Kenny Atkinson, which I think is fine. I think he's a good coach.
I was about to say I think that's a good re-signing.
But what would we do?
I
Solve it, Brett. What do we do?
I don't really know as far as like re-signing players which way to go, but I do know that there's this kid from Akron who's becoming a free agent again for the first time since 2020.
Steph Curry's not a free agent.
The second best player of all time is becoming a free agent.
Yeah, Steph Curry's not a free agent.
Yeah, again, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm not saying that's gonna like fix anything, but I think maybe like a spark plug, like re-adding someone like LeBron James. I just called the second best player of all time a spark plug.
You just called a
locker
guy.
room fit.
You just called a guy who I'm sure somebody's like threatened to kill someone else over a spark plug.
Yeah, I'm gonna get so many hate comments for that.
So Bronny is now the best LeBron in the league. Yeah, yes or no?
I guess
Thoughts?
so. Yeah. Well, I guess we'll have that discussion, but
No, we won't.
no, but I think it could work, man. I don't know how you re-sign some of these players. Is James Harden locked in for next year as well?
James Harden's got a player option, so
he'll leave. So most likely he'll leave.
For 42 M's, I would be shocked.
Not. Yeah, at his age too, maybe not.
I would say, what if I had to look into my crystal ball? What would happen is he'll deny or turn down his player option for a longer guaranteed salary, probably with the Cavs. You'd expect, but yeah, no shot. He's turning down 42 M's without a guarantee.
Yeah, and I'm assuming too, if he were to turn it down, there'd have to be a deal in place already where he's making that or more. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just think LeBron on this team would be a lot of fun, and I'm trying to think of like he does want to play. It sounds like he does want to play one more year. Where would be like a good place to end his career? It kind of seems like the Lakers are kind of pushing him out the door anyways.
Yeah.
Why not return home and kind of like maybe fill like a leadership role that the Cavs kind of need? And obviously like they need like that piece to kind of get them over the hump too. LeBron's still playing well enough at his 41 years of age that he's still playing at an elite level where he could probably be the difference maker for a playoff team.
Yeah. It kind of comes down, and I don't disagree. I think, let's be very clear, like LeBron's like early 40s. He's still a valuable commodity at the right price. That's kind of what it comes down to, which is like, would his ego, and not saying he has like an outrageous ego, any NBA player, would their ego allow them to play for like sub market value if it means coming in and being the third guy on the Cavs? Especially are a weird situation because like LeBron brought the only title they've ever had home.
Right.
Do you think he wants to come back for like pennies on the dollar to then sit around and watch fat ass James Harden like not play defense? Like maybe. That's a harder sell to me than like him going to. Dude, the funniest outcome is him going to the Thunder, like a la Kevin Durant, where it's like they call him in the parking lot. That would be the funniest outcome to me. He never would, but God, it would be awesome.
I would literally, I would never touch a microphone again. I would go into Buddhism.
You do the Wemby monk thing.
Yeah, you would never hear from me again. if I saw across my timeline that LeBron James is getting a physical in Oklahoma City, I would literally.
Let's see. LeBron James. I want to see if they have odds on where he goes next. LeBron James odds.
I bet DraftKings probably has something like that.
I'm sure they do. LeBron James is heavily favored to either remain or retire with sports books around plus 108 to plus 110. If he continues playing elsewhere, a return to the Cavs or joining Golden State are viewed as
Oh my God.
no,
No.
no,
No.
please, no, bro.
No. If you want me to keep this narrative up that you're the second best player of all time, I will make it not a joke anymore. LeBron, that's my threat to you.
Oh, dude, that's disgusting. Oh, what? So it's the Cavs. The Cavs are the favorite, like single-digit odds favorites.
Even over the Lakers, or are the Lakers the favorite? And then
I think the Lakers are the favorite if he stays.
Gotcha. Okay.
Cavs are the favorite for the new team, and then the Spurs and the Warriors are the next two, followed by the Knicks. He's ring chasing, bro. If Kevin Durant got death threats for this shit, y'all better pull up to his house, bro. Come on.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's like you can't ring chase, man. I think going home to Cleveland would be like the only thing where it's like it's a really good team, but it's like, oh, he's home. You know, LeBron's home. Great. But yeah, you go to like the Knicks, the Warriors, Grizzlies, you're just ring chasing. Like,
stop trying to sneak the Grizzlies into shit. Dude, the whole time I'm like, well, look, if you go to the Warriors, you're not ring chasing. I'm just not going to like it. And then you're like the Grizzlies. That's more ring chasing than the Warriors.
No.
Yes, I promise. Yes, it will be. You guys are going to pick up Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson, or Darren Peterson. You're going to get LeBron. You're going to finish like 7 games above the Golden State Warriors. And then I'm going to be the guy with the shitty fandom next season. I'm going to be the guy who gets shit on.
You know what? But at the very least, Cameron, we know that that's not going to happen. You know, we already know that he would rather retire or probably start his own league before he even spend a night.
You're right. Yeah. Why? I completely forgot about that.
We'll get more in that as the offseason goes, but we got to go on. We spent a lot of time on the Cavs.
We spent way too much time.
It's okay. It's okay.
Cavs, rest in piss. You let me down.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what the roster looks like now, or what the roster looks like opening night compared to what it is now. I'm very interested to see how the front office navigates these tricky contracts.
Brett, do you hear that? That's the sound of fucking millions of New Yorkers screaming in the streets.
Bing bong.
As the Knicks have returned to the finals for the first time since, I don't know if you've heard it, 1999.
Yep. Against who, Cameron? Who are they playing?
Oh, the team with the big old women, down in San Antonio.
The Charles Barkley team, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Cameron, the first time we have an NBA Cup rematch in the NBA Finals.
Which is honestly awesome.
It's kind of sick. Kind of sick. I saw that stat, and it was the first thing I had to write down. I was like, "That's like awesome."
3 years. The cup has existed for like 3 years. We're already getting a cup rematch, and like it's a thing people are kind of taking a little seriously.
As they should. I mean, it's kind of proof's in the pudding, man. You make the NBA Cup, you show that you can do it early on in the season. Maybe
could the Knicks
there's correlation
be the first double winners in NBA history, winning the cup and the finals?
That would be cool. That would be cool. I would love to see some history being made. I think it'll be made regardless, but
absolutely.
Yeah, but very cool. Do you want to talk about the Knicks at all before we move on to the West? Because I know we spent a lot of time on the Cavs. Maybe we'll give the Knicks their grace, unless you want to save it for the.
I'll give the Knicks a little bit of grace, simply because they deserve it. And I'll echo what you had said, which is just like Jalen Brunson. Unfortunately, I have a gamble on him, which is like I don't think he can lead his team to the finals. He's a small guard. I'm generally biased against him. Fuck, man, maybe not this one. Like
again, that's where it's like this season has been just full of outliers, where it's like everything that has been historically like true. And everything that has happened, it's like, yeah, like what we know. It's like, yeah, a small guard can't lead a team to the finals. A team like the Spurs shouldn't have made it this far. But then there's outliers like Jalen Brunson and Wemby, where it's like, well, throw the book out the window because we don't know what it's going to be. Like, it generally is just the most unpredictable it's ever been.
Yeah, never in my life did I think I would see people worried that like Mitchell Robinson is maybe out. And now it's like Mitchell Robinson is the guy you're hoping counters Wemby, and he has a broken like pinky on his hand.
His hand got hurt, and not even in a game. They still haven't released why that happened.
He definitely punched a wall.
I just kind of think
He definitely punched something.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, like Mitchell Robinson is important. Karl Anthony Towns. If I see one more tweet about people saying like Karl Anthony Towns was built for this moment, I like Cat. I've come on here and said he's a valuable winner. Karl Anthony Towns was not built for this. Did you see what Wemby did to Chet? Yeah, right. Did you see the psychological? Wemby broke that man by Game 7. Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns is not built for this, dude.
Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns. If you thought Chet was broken, bro, wait till you see what happens to Cat in these finals, man.
Karl Anthony Towns is gonna fucking pick up 4 fouls in the first half of Game 1, and you're gonna be sitting here like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yeah, Wemby has this uncanny ability to like get under your skin and draw fouls, and if you think Cat's not gonna take that bait, like, you're sorely mistaken.
Karl Anthony Towns has had a remarkable playoff run. He's genuinely played good defense. He's been a great offensive too. He hasn't fouled as much as he used to. Unfortunately, the Spurs team they will be facing is fucking 3 guards who get in the paint, and then Wemby, who is lurking. It will be very interesting to me. But we're kind of spoiling
Champagne at the 4, who could just drain a 3 on you whenever he wants.
My goat. But the Knicks, Josh Hart does scare me. Josh Hart is going to guard Wemby. Mark my words. Yeah, they're going to rotate between Josh Hart and OG Anunoby, and I'm going to watch my French goat just be like punked by dudes half his size. Exactly. But yeah, we're getting into a later segment. Let's go ahead and just pivot to the West.
Yeah, let's pivot to the West really quick. Let's talk about Thunder Spurs, man. Bravo, man. Just give the flowers when it's due. What a series, man. What an absolute series. Exactly what we expected. Nothing surprising here. I just can't believe. The first thing I'll say about it is like, the Spurs, man, holy cow, like that's going to be a problem for a long time. But Chet got put in an absolute blender.
This is what we're starting off with? Just Chet slander?
I had to start because it's so eye-popping that like this guy who is before this series was like, it's Wemby versus Chet, and it's like this is like the future of basketball for the next 10 to 15 years, and that still may be true. But you can't come out in Game 7 putting up 4 points. 1 field goal that you made at the start of the game, and then just disappear for Game 7 the rest of the way. How?
It was a clean-ass shot, too. Like, yeah, in Chet's credit, the little fucking dribble hang, and I was like, oh, if he's going to be doing that all night, like, this is going to be a problem.
And then we never saw it again.
And then we saw only 1 other shot attempt and nothing else. In Chet's defense, and I am more than happy to slander him after this. He defensively was an issue. I mean, like blocking shots, turning shots at the rim. Defensively, he held up his end of the bargain. Offensively, motherfucker, what are we doing?
A massive liability. A massive liability.
There were times, and you saw it, where Chet would get the ball and like literally look scared, like not look to the basket, not look to make a dribble move, just look to swing it on the outside.
Yeah, it seemed like there was no aggression of like, all right, I got the ball. Let me see how I can get to the rim. It's like, all right, I have the ball. Let me find Shea or a guy up top.
Right.
And it's like, man, like you're probably like the second best, maybe the third best player on this court right now. Like, you need to get in there. And
they need him to be the second. That's the thing. Like, you were down J-Dub, you were down AJ Mitchell, and not to be, like, remiss, fucking Cason Wallace got himself paid that game. Cason Wallace hit threes that were, like, nut-cutting three. Like, holy fuck, wait, they still may come in and make it. Jared McCain was fine. I mean, he did what you'd expect him to do, which is come in, shoot shots, and not be afraid. And Alex Caruso wasn't efficient, but like wasn't scared.
But also played really well the rest of the series too. Like, you know, like it's enough that it's like, yeah, Caruso maybe didn't like play as well as he should have, but I'll
Dude.
give him his flowers. The rest of the series,
He had
he's lights out.
huge performances.
Yeah.
Every guy on this roster who, when I say matters, I mean like, role players that you'd expect to be leading on. They all had huge games. Chet was the only one where you're like, hey man, we're paying you $240 million. Can you at least take some more shots? Right? Fucking smolder. And God bless him. Wemby just every time he saw him was like, I'm putting this motherfucker under the basket. I am making this guy regret the day he signed up to play basketball.
It's almost like life or death for Wemby. Like if he lets this guy succeed, like it's almost like
right. It's an offense to him to allow Chet to have happiness. Those tweets made me laugh so hard.
But we need this kind of rivalry in the NBA again.
You need hate.
I
Absolutely.
feel like it's been missing for so long. This kind of hate that's just like, for years to come now, we will have this rivalry. And whether Chet wants to say it's a rivalry or not, it is. Like,
it is.
Because Wemby has done enough to make it one. And then also, too, like, it's not like he's, like, been like, oh, like, I don't think this is a rivalry and, like, shied away from Wemby. He was trying to do that, play it off, and then trying to, like, big brother Wemby. And it's like, man, like, you just kind of have to take it.
It's so funny. Wemby... When I knew Wemby was like minted in the sense of like, oh, he's going to be fine, is he's the better player in this matchup, and he's the one with beef against Chet. It's the same shit that I saw Luka Doncic do, where like Luka some games would find a role player to just pick on and would just put 30 on that guy specifically and be MFing them every time he scored. Like, there's that bit of asshole like to him where I'm like, okay, he's gonna be fine. And I want to give the Thunder their genuine, honest to God flowers. They were not supposed to lose Game 7. Like, you could tell that was the attitude they went in on, and they have all been fairly gracious like losers, and that matters. Like, the clip that stands out to me is like J-Dub was talking about like. Yeah, man, like I think if I would played that, like we would have won, but like I'm hurt. Like what do you want me to do about that? And that's like a super fair and valid sort of thing, which is like Case and Wallace says like, look, they were beatable, we didn't beat them. Like I think that's a fair attitude to have. The only Thunder player that I'm kind of like, hey, it's on site is Alex Caruso, simply because I think it was a bullshit flagrant that they didn't want to call. But like you can end guys' careers doing that.
Bullshit play for sure.
So Alex Caruso, but even holding that in one hand, I'm like, he was really valuable to them, and he's a really good player for them. So,
but it's also, what have you done for me lately? Not,
what have you done for me lately? It made me so angry.
Right? Like, yeah, you play so well. You can play so well in this series, but what you'll be remembered for is that should have been a flagrant foul.
It should have been a flagrant foul. You should have been ejected. But like, you weren't, and ultimately, it didn't impact the outcome, quote unquote. But the Thunder are in a weird spot. Like, you're gonna have to, unfortunately, get rid of some guys. Like, you cannot pay them all. You've got 3 picks this draft that you either have to trade or consolidate.
You have to make a decision now or never. Like, this draft for them is like kind of weirdly like the most important maybe of like their next 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely, because this is what determines whether or not you're extending your quote unquote dynasty, right? Like, if you can nail these picks and you can nail the off season, and you can be right back in contention, awesome. You can set yourself up for a window. If you fuck it up, and I don't think Sam Presti will, but if you mess this up, like it, and we'll see it in like 3 years whether or not you did, it'll have consequences. For reference, on the books for the OKC Thunder, everybody they have on the roster right now is on the roster next year as well. Which means they do not have a ton of roster space to pick up any of their draft picks.
So moves will have to be made, obviously.
Moves have to be made. So there are a couple of guys with team options, meaning OKC can decide whether or not to keep them. Isaiah Hartenstein for 28.5. Isaiah, you should probably pick him up.
I was gonna say
you need to. He's important. He was important in this series.
He was the only one who gave Wemby really any competition. Like
exactly. As a big, he was the only big you could play that Wemby wasn't absolutely bitching. Lou Dort, who is on the hook.
Something on Lou Dort, but go on.
Okay, Lou Dort, who's on the hook for $18 million. I have thoughts on him as well. Kenrich Williams, who's only making $7 million, but is like a valuable locker room vet for them. Cason Wallace, who's only making $7 million and is going to get fucking paid. If you don't, you're gonna keep him. You're gonna try to extend him, but like, he's gonna be fucking paid. Nikola Topic
played himself into a spot, and I'm happy for him.
Cason Wallace steals the ball from you without really even trying, and then hits like a 30-foot three in your face, and then is blank-faced, has no emotion, no expression, is just waiting for you to get the ball again.
I love that for him, man. He's so fun to watch because he's just every Kentucky basketball player. Where I'm just like, I'm not sure where you came from, and I didn't really know who you were, but holy cow, you're awesome. Like,
dude. And then Jared McCain, the cast-off from Philadelphia, the man they sold high on, has a team option for the next 2 seasons.
So I think maybe you got to keep him too, right?
You got to keep all of them. That's the issue. Like,
I just don't. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, you're
on Lou Dort. What do you have on Lou Dort?
I just said Oh, so this is going to completely derail our conversation, but I just say Lou Dort played how his name sounds. So it's like, hey baby, like
Lugens Dort.
So let's paint the picture now, Cameron. Like, I'm your housewife. You're coming home from playing rec league basketball, and I'm like, hey honey, like how'd your game go? And you're like, Lou Dort, and I was like, oh, not good, huh? Like why don't you sit down, baby? Like I'll get you a drink. It's like, what happened? How did you Lou Dort? Like that's kind of what I think about. It's like this guy shouldn't be succeeding because just his name Lou Dort sounds just like a stupid name.
That's so fucking. I thought you had like some sort of like defensively he's been a good vet for them, and you're like, no, dude, his name sounds like he should play bad every night.
Yeah. Lou Dort. Oh, there's Lou Dort. Boom, boom, boom.
I saying that, but also understanding Lou Dort's like 6'7" pure muscle. It's like,
and he's an awesome player. He is
can be awesome player. You could do that. I don't want to face him down, man. That's all you.
No, I love Lou Dort. I think he's a great player. I just think the name sounds so like mopey. Who's the Eeyore? He's not like, like on Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm Lou Dort. But I don't know, man. This is gonna be a really fun offseason for them. I think regardless, Sam Presti is gonna figure it out. And you said they have to keep all three. I'm starting to wonder too if I know you just won the championship not that long ago, last year, obviously. But maybe it's time to kind of get ahead of the inevitable separation, you know what I'm saying, of all of these stars. So I don't know exactly, and I can't pinpoint exactly who you get rid of and who you replace them with, because obviously the draft will have those answers.
Yeah.
But also too, like you said, it's you have to keep all three of these guys that you mentioned, Isaiah Hartenstein, Lou Dort, Cason Wallace, Jared McCain, sorry, 4 guys that you mentioned, all very, very important and made huge contributions to that team all season long, and inevitably got them to this Game 7. And had things gone differently, we wouldn't be talking about it that way. It'd be like, oh man, Thunder in it again, probably gonna win. And it's like, but now we're discussing. It's like, well, what's the future look like? And what wasn't necessarily a bad year for them. Any fan base would be happy to lose in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
Absolutely.
And you're just and now we're just sitting here wondering, oh well, how are they gonna rebuild? And it's like, what do you think about? It's not me saying this. I've just seen it floating around, and I think it's a lot of reactionary stuff. What do you think about them moving on from Chet?
I'll interrupt that first by saying I think you move on from Lou Dort and Kenrich Williams. That's my 2 cents. It frees up $25 million. I think if you move on from Chet, I think you're being really reactionary, and I think it's a mistake. Like, his contract extension kicks in next season, so that is something to be cognizant of. He goes from making 13 million to 41 million. And it kind of, so basically the Thunder have three guys kind of sitting in the 40 M's range: Shea, Chet, and J-Dub. I think, and this is going to sound controversial, I think Chet is more valuable to that team than J-Dub is. I think if you're moving on from one of them, you should move on from J-Dub.
What? Duh.
People are going to sit there and be like, well,
the SGA. I have to interrupt you.
No.
I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say SGA, and I was ready to listen. You said J Will, and it's like, yeah, duh.
J-Dub, they're like guard, not their center.
My bad. My apologies.
And so the one who's injured, and after seeing Chet's lack of offensive game in the postseason, maybe that take is soured a little bit. But like, defensively, he is the best center you have. He is what you need to anchor the paint. And I think if you move on from him now, it's a mistake, like a pretty drastic one, because you can't replace that. The inverse of that, however, is like Ben Simmons never played again after he no-showed in a Game 7. And at least that game, he had 14 assists. So
everyone's hating on Ben Simmons until it's time to love Ben Simmons, you know.
Yeah, everybody's hating on Ben Simmons until he wins a fishing championship. Then what you know about that, bro?
Yeah. What you know about my GOAT?
No, I think you have to keep Chet. And Shea said it best, like, this is the worst Chet will ever be. You'd expect him to get better. It's kind of going to boil down, funnily enough, to the same thing as Ben Simmons, of like, do you have the mental capacity to pick yourself up after getting, no offense to him, kind of embarrassed on that stage?
It was embarrassing. It was very embarrassing.
He's a champion. He has a ring. None of that can be taken away. But like, faced with your greatest adversary, whether you consider him to be or not, you did not show up. How do you respond to that? And I think that's going to be a big storyline. I'm sure we're going to see fucking off-season videos. Chet Holmgren in the gym frying people.
And people always do this too, where it's like they have like the performance thing on, where it like monitors like they're like,
yeah,
and it's like, oh, he's wearing a bra. Shut the fuck up. Stop. Like, I just want to stop that now before it starts. Like,
in defense of men wearing bras, shut the fuck up. They're allowed to.
As a man who wears a bra.
But yeah, case in point, you have to keep Case and Wallace. I think you give away Kenrich Williams and Lou Dort. But I mean, dude, the Thunder are gonna be around for the next 70 years. You'd imagine. Like,
yeah, it's like, yeah, this isn't like the end of the dynasty. Like, if anything,
Certainly
they're still just starting. Like, it's because SGA is still incredibly young. Chet's still very young. They have some other young pieces too that they'll have around for a little while longer. But they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Like, and I know like people like to clown on Chet. He's not a bad player. Like, he's probably arguably one of the best players in the league. And I understand like you don't show up for Game 7, like you're gonna get shit on because it's the last thing people remember before like a long off season. But you got to kind of take your licks, man. It's just kind of
where you get them.
It is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. Let's go on to the finals, man. Exciting finals, very very exciting finals. I don't think there is like two teams that are more loved than these two going into a finals. And like, I don't think I've ever seen a country so divided on who to pick, because obviously the Spurs, I wouldn't necessarily call them an underdog, but I don't think anyone expected them to be here so fast. And I think the resurgence in the popularity of Wemby has just skyrocketed. Like he's only getting more popular too. Like I'm seeing it now with like my son who sees him and is just like, wow, he's taller than my 4-year-old. Like, oh my God, he's so tall. Like, and
my girlfriend, he's so tall, he looks weird.
It's like,
okay,
and even, my wife too. It's just like, how is he moving like that? He's captivating people who would never watch basketball, you know. And regardless, I'm the one putting it on the TV, but it's something of note when people who don't watch the game and don't know who he is like, who is that? And how is he moving like that?
Right. Even taking the little bit of interest of like, oh, how tall is he? And you're like 7'5", and they're like, huh,
Yeah, that's insane.
curious. We were talking earlier before we cracked the mics about you didn't want a bandwagon and root for the Spurs. I want to say this right now. I have a lot of friends in San Antonio who have never once in their life fucking shown interest in basketball.
Are now
I
Spurs
saw
fans.
them posting about the Spurs. That's good, man. That's fine. There's never a happier time in your life as a sports fan than when your team is good and winning. If
And it
Wemby,
rejuvenates the city too. You know, it
right,
really
if
adds
Wemby
life.
and the Spurs or Jalen Brunson and the Knicks, if that's what gets you in, that's fine, man. We're all here loving the game.
Yeah,
Come join the party.
Yeah, we all have a thing that like brought us in, you know, and I
Absolutely.
think maybe for people our age, Cameron, like one of mine was Yao Ming. Like, oh my God, who is this like
Right?
spectacle of a man
Yeah.
playing basketball? And that's what piqued my interest, and obviously here we are now. But like that's how it starts. You just see these anomalies of men and like these just insane athletes, and you're like, wow, like, and you just admire it, and next thing you know, you're hosting a basketball show.
Right. I mean, it's no secret. Mine was Steph Curry. I was like, he can shoot the ball from where? Like the Davidson run where it's like, does he miss? Does
Yeah.
he ever fucking miss?
Dude, and that's what people are getting now. I love it, man, and I love witnessing it with my own two eyes. And I'm happy to. I am normally like against bandwagoners who are like, because it was massive when the Blues went on their run in 2019. Like, and
Right.
I mean, I remember going to games with my dad where it's like they were paying people to walk in the building.
Yeah,
And they're like, what
the
are you
OG
doing here?
fans are always like, fuck you, we were here, we suffered. And I get that. I get the sentiment. The inverse is like, hey man, I would love to have more people who are excited.
The game is growing, and there's people now sharing interests, the same interests as you, that you can now talk to.
Right.
Like, you know, so it's say what you want about it. I'll be rooting for the Spurs either way, and
Dude,
I think
shout out my boss. Every game this postseason, he has checked in with me.
That's
You
great.
see that game? And like, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, who do you think will win? And it's like, it's a little thing, but I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. Like,
yeah, that's awesome because he's interested. You know, he's not asking to like entertain you. Like he's interested.
yeah, he's at least tapping into the TV, wants to hear my thoughts. I'm like, hey man, shout outs. So before we dive into the series preview, make your pick right now. Gun to your head. No bullets in the chamber.
Spurs and 7. no, none.
There's no threat to your life.
Wait. That's the point. I guess I'll say Spurs and 7.
I
think
have Spurs in 6.
I think I have to ride the Spurs out, and I really did want to pick the Knicks just because they've dominated so. They've just absolutely dominated the East, and it's like, and a thing too is like, oh well, it's they've had a lot of off time. It's Russ versus what is it? Russ versus
Rest versus rust.
Russ versus Russ. Thank you. And it's that only played a factor in like the first half of the Cavs game, and then it was just a different team the rest of the way.
They're
Like-
humming, dude.
Yeah, they kind of just got like their game feet under them, and it was like, oh yeah, we're the best team in the East. We can annihilate these guys, and they did.
Dude, they ran them out.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen. I'm obviously rooting for it to be a competitive series. I want 7, as should every fan.
You're just greedy.
I am very greedy, dude. More basketball, the better, right? Let's go ahead and expand these playoffs to 32 teams. Why not, right? Who says no?
So are we including like 2 JV teams, or where are the extra 2 teams?
Yeah,
coming from?
we're at. Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, we're not at 32 yet. We're expanding. So Vegas and Seattle.
No,
build your team.
32 team playoff. Where are we getting the other 2 teams, dude? The winners of the Euro League and the winners of the China League.
Yeah, it could be like
that
the
would go
Champions League.
crazy.
That would be sick, right?
That would be awesome. I can't wait to watch like my Warriors get blown out by Real Madrid's basketball team.
And the opening season scrimmages.
Those
are
are
the
dude.
best.
Those are always so funny because it's like, oh shit, you lost to who?
Yeah, right. It's like, well,
Well, actually, you don't
none
understand.
of
Their season's still in, and right now our guys are warming up, so it's actually not that big of a deal. All right, man. Whatever.
it's one of those things where it's like, if they win, it's like, well, yeah, they were supposed to, but if they lose, it's like, well, actually,
Right. Well, actually,
it's just a regulation game, and it doesn't count against all record.
it's a friendly. It's a friendly, right?
It's a friendly.
So, of this series, and we should have done this for a lot more series, but we didn't. pick 3 players on the Spurs, not counting Wemby. Fuck you. Pick 3 players on the Spurs that you think will be like important in this series. You could pick any of them, but I'm just curious who you are looking to.
I think number 1 is Stephon Castle.
Okay.
I think he's just. I think on both sides of the ball, like a 200-foot game, he's just been incredible.
Defensive terrorist.
Yeah, he's awesome, and he's so explosive too. Even like, I forgot what game it was where he had that like floating dunk, where I think he dunked over Chet too.
God, it was like game 1, dude.
Yeah,
Because I texted
like
you, I was like,
ago.
"Holy shit, Steph!"
That felt like a year ago.
Yeah.
But I think he's obviously very important. De'Aaron Fox, who hasn't been shooting well from 3, needs to get better at shooting, or I think they just need to let Dylan Harper kind of take the reins for. But obviously, De'Aaron Fox still a very good player, and Julian Champagnie obviously like has been their. I think besides Wemby, you could probably argue has been their best player like in these playoffs. Like maybe there's
I'd
other
slot him
Spurs fans
third,
out there.
but yeah.
But the argument can be made where it's like these big shots need to be made, and it's like, all right,
he is their best shooter.
He's and no matter where it's crazy. I feel like there was one shot where it's he had a guy maybe I feel like 2 inches from his face. He was in the corner, step back 3, and it's just like they just need to get a shot up to restart the clock, and it just nothing but net. And I'm just like, this guy is insane.
Philadelphia cut him, which everybody's heard about now.
Cut him
for Mac McClung and traded Jared McCain. 2 dudes who ended up playing valuable minutes in the Western Finals.
Man, the Sixers really could have used that. I wish the Sixers would have had those guys.
I would pick obviously Victor's the number 1. We're not picking him. That's too easy.
No, that's so easy.
I would pick De'Aaron Fox. I would agree with you. I think they really need his ball handling. Steph Castle is prone. He's young, but he's prone to turnovers. And De'Aaron Fox just has the ability to hit like a mid-range shot when you need to bail out the offense. I would also agree, Julian Champagnie. He is their shooter. He is, when the ball finds him and he shoots it, you're like, well, there's 3.
Go
ahead and tally it up.
A guarantee too. I feel like every game he's going like 6 for 8, 8 for 10 from 3, and it's just like, man, like,
yeah.
What can you do to stop him? He's kind of like he's kind of like a hidden gem in a way, because you look at the starting lineup: De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell. Sorry, I forgot. I don't know how to say
Devin Vassell.
Devin Vassell. Thank you. Sorry, and Julian Champagnie and Victor Wembanyama. Out of those 5, like he's like.
He has one job.
Yeah, like it's like
he
he's
has
like the
one
5th guy
job.
I'm worried about, but he's also like the most dangerous. Like it's weird. Like I don't know how to pin him.
My third guy,
I love him.
My GOAT, gonna be important this series, I promise you. 1, Luke Kornet.
Yes.
Blocked by Kornet. Kornet with perhaps the greatest block of all time. Hyperbole, obviously. I've never seen him move that fast. He fucking erased the shot.
Luke Kornet's never seen Luke Kornet move that.
Luke Kornet was possessed. I've watched replays. I still don't know how he made it in time.
He comes out of nowhere. Too.
He's like, you could tell he's running, but he's just not running fast. And then he's there, and the shot gets like banged off the backboard into Dylan Harper, and it's like, oh fuck. But Luke Kornet's minutes against OKC were kind of hesitant. Like the Spurs generally ceded ground when he played because Wemby's not on the floor. And I think if they can win or even only lose a little in Luke Kornet minutes, it's a really good sign. So
yeah, I think so too. Yeah, this Spurs team is incredibly deep. I'm watching the block again right now.
It's such a good block.
Man.
It's such a bad pass, I think, by Steph Castle, where it's like he's not in position to get the ball. OKC's clearly trying to jump a lane, and then he just fucking goes. And shout out, look, Dylan Harper and all them guys for following, right? You didn't let OKC get an easy putback, but like Isaiah Hartenstein, like, God, I want to know what he was thinking, because he didn't even complain.
Dang,
like,
man, who blocked that?
Yeah, he wasn't even
God,
thinking
is that
like
Luke Kornet.
He wasn't even like calling for a foul. Like he was like, "Fuck, who hit that? Like who banged that shit?"
Damn, bro, Wemby must be out here. I didn't see him. Oh fuck, Luke Cornett.
Let's do the question on the inverse for the Knicks. Who do you think are the three players, not counting Jalen Brunson, obviously,
not counting
who are going to be the most important or at least impactful to watch? I can go first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead, because I'm not too Knicks coded, so
Bro's not versed in the Bing Bong. It's fine.
Yeah, not. Sorry, that's more your speak.
Number one with a bullet, no doubt, is OG Anunoby. I see a lot of people being like, OG's the best Wemby defender this season. Like, that might be so. I think they've played twice. OG Anunoby's going to have to play like 35, 40 minutes a game. And
Also
he can.
a foot shorter than him.
Foot shorter, built like a fucking tank, though.
Yeah.
So you're going to go the Caruso route of like crowd him on the catch, get low, get under him. OG Anunoby is going to be very important. After OG, I'm going to lean Karl Anthony Towns. It's kind of a cop-out. But Cat's going to be important, specifically in his ability, if Wemby is on him, to pull Wemby away from the basket. Because he can shoot. You have to respect his shot. And I don't see it often, but when Karl Anthony Towns gets rolling, like when he gets hot, it's fucking the scariest thing in the world.
Yeah, because he's a big dude.
He's 7 feet tall. He doesn't play in the post. I know he does, but he doesn't like primarily play in the post. And then when he hits like 3 shots in a row, you'll start seeing him do spin moves and layup. I'm like, fuck, hold on, you can't do all of this, man.
Cat's in a flow state right
You
now.
can't do all of this. And my third is going to be interesting. It's going to be Landry Shamet, who seems to never miss a three.
Has been draining threes.
He is the Knicks' Julian Champagny. And so it's going to come down to which one of them can hit more shots, I think.
Oh, I love that. I do like Landry Shamet a lot. He's a very fun player. I'll give you my 3. So I agree with you, OG. He's probably the best defensive player on this team. Probably their only hope to getting like a Wemby stop. Now, granted, obviously Karl Anthony Towns, but I also think if Mitchell Robinson plays, that's going to be very important as well.
Mitch is going to be huge.
I know he doesn't light up a box score sheet, and I know people like to look at them and be like, "Oh, he's not really a contributor." It's like what he does on
rebounds
defense,
like a motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. And he's so big, he's so strong, he's so physical. What he does on defense is so incredibly underrated that I think that that could be the difference of like. If they could score at will, if Josh Hart can get 3, a preview of my next few. Josh Hart can light up from 3. Landry Shamet has a good night. Jalen Brunson will have a good night no matter what. And Mikal Bridges obviously as well too. You're not sure, but you have to get good play from both sides of the ball, and you're consistently going to get it from Mitchell Robinson. So I'll say him my number 1, or my number 2. Sorry, I went with OG first, and Josh Hart is the last one, because when Josh Hart is hot. There's nobody that can beat this Knicks team. I think the last 2 games he had over 20, and I think maybe in Game 7 he had 30, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to.
Josh Hart had 6 in Game 30 or Game 7.
Ooh. Who was I looking at? Never mind. We'll go on from that. But they need him to shoot well. That was basically my point. Is they need him to shoot well if they're going to have a chance. And
absolutely,
I agree with you. I just don't think it's gonna. I don't know. I think the Spurs will obviously pull away here.
Wow, obviously, no.
Well, maybe not obviously. I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me there. Maybe not obviously, but
no. Hey, man, you said Spurs in 7. You said they'd obviously pull away, bro. Which side is it? What are we doing here?
Yeah, I'll say Spurs in 7, and I'll go with that. I'll stay as neutral as I possibly can.
Josh Hart did have 26 in the second game of that series.
That's right. That's what I was thinking of.
He did have a huge explosion.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I say Spurs in 7. What about you, Cameron?
I say Spurs in 6. I think Knicks take the first game. I think Knicks may even take the second game, and then I think the Spurs will get their feet under them.
They're gonna get a game at home. Like that New York atmosphere is just way too electric.
Dude, walking into Madison Square Garden in the finals must be fucking awesome.
That has to be fucking peak, man.
There are like very few people in the history of humanity who have that experience, and I'm so excited the Spurs get to be the next.
Yeah, Damn it, the Spurs fans just haven't suffered enough. It's not really fair that they just get these
If you're a
generational
Spurs
centers
fan, you have not suffered at all.
ever. Ever.
Like ever. You got David Robertson, you got Tim Duncan, you went Tim Duncan with Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili, and then when they were petering out, you got Kawhi Leonard, and then Kawhi left you, and you were like, oh no, my heart will go on, and then you got Wemby. So there was like a 7-year stretch where you were like, fine, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeMar DeRozan, like not great.
But
And
still
then you get
landing
Wemby.
good but still landing good in the lottery too, where it's like you can get excited about draft picks. You know, it's
Right.
weird.
Well, I mean, before Wemby, they had drafted Josh Primo, who
That's
I think
right.
I think he's a sex offender now. And one other guy.
You can't hit them all.
You can't hit him. Hold on, I'm gonna derail this. Hold on. I want to see the Spurs draft picks.
They've been good recently.
Right. So, yeah, look, last year, Dylan Harper and Carter Bryant. Dylan Harper, it was kind of a hard to miss one. Like, you have the second overall pick. You
Yeah,
gotta
don't
nail
overthink that. Yeah.
You could have taken Kahn. I was wrong. I thought Kahn was the correct pick. Dylan Harper very clearly was.
Yeah, as far as like a team fit, I think
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't have gone wrong either way, but I think Harper's just a better fit.
Carter Bryant, who I like a lot. The year before that, Steph Castle, who has been awesome. You traded away the pick that would have been Rob Dillingham, which turned out to be smart. You traded away Johnny Furphy's pick, and you picked up Harrison Ingram. The year before that, Victor Wembanyama, obviously. Before Wemby, you had Jeremy Sohan, who is now on the Knicks and is now guaranteed a ring because he played for the Spurs and then was traded. So congrats. Before that, you had Josh Primo, who I think has played 56 NBA games and then got DNP'd because he was getting his, what the fuck is that guy? Getting his Deshaun Watson on with a massage therapist. Yeah, genuinely a disgusting situation. That the Clippers then picked him up and tried to give him a second chance. Fuck you, Clippers. Before that,
for him, not very good, huh?
before that, you picked up Devin Vassell. Congratulations.
Vassell was a
Keldon
very good
Johnson. 2018, Lonnie Walker. 2017, Derek White. 2016, DeJounte Murray. They've always
Am I thinking of the same Derek White from the Celtics? That Derek White?
same one. They traded, yeah.
Okay, so I'd say they did pretty good there.
You're correct. I'm going back. Every year they've picked up a guy who has stuck around.
Yeah, so, like whether it's like an all-star or not, like it's hard to stick around in this league. It's like teams are so small. Like there's it's probably the one sport where it's like very few people can like really stay in it, you know, and it's like if you can have like a 5-6 year career coming off the bench, like you're a pretty good player.
Absolutely. This is awesome. I didn't even realize dude, there's like 2 drafts in the last 15 years they didn't pick like good players. Yeah. Like, oh no, we picked Kyle Anderson. Yeah. Fuck you, dude. I would love to have Kyle Anderson.
Yeah. That was like their low light. Oh, we had to pick Kyle Anderson. Go fuck yourself.
I was like, no, there's a couple of low lights in there.
Yes,
but yeah.
there's a few that we mentioned that we. I won't mention his name again, Josh. But let's go ahead and move on a little bit. I got a little bit of college stuff before we wrap up, and then I'll give you my.
Do you want to do the draft here, or do you want to do?
We'll do it next. We'll do the draft next one because I don't have a mock draft ready yet.
The draft reform. Sorry.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's right. Go ahead and start off with that. I want to.
And then we'll pivot to college. It'll be very quick.
Yeah. Go
the NBA Board of Governors has made a decision that I do believe will, in fact, ruin the league for the next couple of years. They voted on passing a draft reform aimed at reducing tanking. The quick and dirty of it is that 29 NBA teams voted yes, 1 NBA team voted no. Brett, who was the one team that voted no?
Glory to Tel Aviv, my Memphis Grizzlies.
The Memphis Grizzlies said, "No, we don't want to fix tanking reform." They had a good reason to. What you need to know is that if you finish bottom 3 in the league, if you are one of the 3 worst teams in the league, your odds at getting a top pick are now less than if you finished 4, 5, or 6. So You cannot be the worst teams in the league. You have to be the almost worst teams in the league. The obvious implication here is to dissuade tanking and encourage the bad teams to play out the season. They've expanded the lottery from 14 teams to 16 teams, which means that if you are in the 9-10 play-in game and you win, you actually shit yourself out of a lottery pick because you do not then finish low enough to qualify. But if you lose the 9-10, you can get a lottery pick, which is a great way to fuck up the play-in. And the part that the Memphis Grizzlies specifically voted against is if you pick in the top 5 2 years in a row, you cannot have a top 5 pick the 3rd year. The reason the Memphis Grizzlies said, hey, that's not fair, is because it also applies to picks your team has traded. So in the Grizzlies case, if the Utah Jazz, who have picked top 5 in 2 years in a row, last year and this coming year, are bad enough that they get a top 5 pick this next draft, it will not be top 5. And the Grizzlies care because that's the pick from the Jazz the Grizzlies own for giving away Jaren Jackson Jr.
And do you think there should be? Sorry to interrupt you. Do you think there should be like a grandfather rule instilled here somewhere where it's like these deals
Fucking
have already,
yeah.
I figured so, but I just wanted to ask because it just like I just think it's so. I don't want to sound like a whiny baby, but it is kind of unfair. It's like a lot of these teams have made these moves, projecting, to possibly land here, worst case scenario.
Right.
And now it's like, well, now there's no chance, and we just gave away an awesome player for maybe a gamble on like a,
it was always a gamble, right? And we can both agree, like you're always gambling when you're trying to take another player's or another team's picks. I think though that like there should have been a grandfather clause. The reason there's not is because they're only doing this for 3 years to see how long, see how it works. I don't know if you're a stat head, but a 3-year sample size is dog shit. That is 3 drafts total.
Yeah, that's
to see how it works.
Not even
that's
close to enough.
This draft system has existed for I think 7 years. And even that's not a big enough sample size. But basically, what this is doing is it is rewarding the not quite as worst teams while also making first round picks not as valuable from bad teams because it devalues it removes the value of a first round pick because you're compressing it into the range with which it could fall. And that combined with the fact that I think first round picks are going to be devalued because of guys returning to college means that you're kind of fucking up the NBA economy.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword a little bit where it's like you're screwing over these I won't say these bad teams, these tanking teams, whatever. You're kind of screwing them over, but then also too it's like, yeah, you're right. Like with the amount of kids coming out of college now being, and I had some on that, being the least it's been in a long time. Yeah, the already I feel like late first round draft picks were kind of useless anyways. But now it's just
not as valuable, certainly. Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're even like as far as when you get in like the teens and the lottery picks, it's like, well, I don't really want that either because that's where you're slotted to be, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
I think there eventually becomes a situation. We talked about it where it's like if you're a 45th pick talent, give or take, and you can go back to college for $6 million, like that's what you're gonna do because you're gonna make more money and you're gonna be the big dog on campus. And so it's like, okay, where's the cutoff? Like at what level are guys returning to college? Is it in the 40s? Is it in the second round, the 30s? Is it in the late 20s? Are guys going to say, well, I'd rather go to college?
It's actually something I had on my new eligibility rule.
Then I will wrap it up here and say the higher that benchmark climbs, the lower the number is for guys to say, fuck it, I'll go back to college. The less valuable first round picks overall are going to become because the consistency and the talent will not be there. But yes, please, we'll pivot from there to college and draft.
Yeah. So first thing I just want to get out of the way before I get into this eligibility rule would be the last thing we talk about. Milan Momcilovic, he was the number one player in the portal from Iowa State this past offseason.
My goat.
He had kind of been teetering the waters of NBA, staying in college. He officially made his decision. He's going to Kentucky, transferring from Iowa State, staying in college, going to Kentucky. And with that, it's not really much more to that besides he was just the best player in the portal, and I thought that was big news. This comes with the news that it's the least amount of draft entries, and I forgot what year. I think it was maybe like 2002 or 2003. It's been a very long time. It's just the least amount of draft entries they've had at this point going into the draft in a very long time. So I think that's very indicative of like the money that college is throwing around now. That like maybe the idea of being a second round pick in the NBA isn't as fun as like, hey, come to Kentucky for a year, you'll make $7.5 million, and you'll be the man, and you'll have a better draft stock next year.
Dude, if you like, I was talking to my dad about this. If you gave me the options of like, hey, $5 million, go to Kentucky, or like 35th round pick, start your season in the G League, I'm going to
college,
Kentucky.
1,000%.
I'm going to Kentucky.
Yeah, like 1,000%. I'm staying in college without a doubt, and even if I'm not playing, just based on the fact that like I would get to go to a big blue blood, like and say I played for them.
The example of this, interesting. The example of this that I always looked at was Drew Timme. You may have heard of him.
I know Drew Timme, Zaga legend, of course.
Zaga legend, played alongside Chet Holmgren, right? The estimates, and I don't know how much of this is true, but the estimate is that like when he was in college pursuing like NIL deals, he was making, around $1 million for that season. And, now he has an NBA contract, but he's bouncing between G League and like end of bench on teams. College was certainly more fun for him. He delayed. Yeah, he could have come out with Chet, and he didn't. He stayed another year.
Yeah,
because it's like fucking. Do I want to be a second round pick, or do I want to come back and be the man?
Yeah, it's like I'm the man here, and I could be the man here as long as I want. Like, and regardless of if I came out my freshman or my senior year, I'm probably not gonna be slotted in the first round. So
right.
Why not just stay in college and enjoy your time? But let's get into this eligibility rule that I wanted to get into. You kind of already talked about it a little bit, and you kind of like you almost said the exact example I had written down, which is crazy. So I think so there's obviously this window of like guys can still like compete and participate in like the combine, talk with teams and stuff, and then decide like Momcilovic did this past week. I like that rule. I think it should stay. I think if you make that decision, it should stay the way it is. You keep your eligibility. No big deal. Let's say, hey, let's keep him as an example. Let's say he decides to go to the NBA. He's like, college isn't for me anymore. I want to go to the NBA. He gets picked 50th overall, let's just say. He then has that choice of being like, all right, I can go back to college for 1 year, no matter how much eligibility I have, as long as he's not a senior, right? Like as long as like he has eligibility to go back to. If he gets drafted, he gets 1 year of eligibility, and that's it. Like it doesn't like let's say he was a freshman and he decided to come out, got drafted, or maybe didn't get drafted and was like, I don't want to grind in the G League. I don't want to do this. I need to go back to college. All right. Well, guess what? You get 1 year of eligibility left, and that team, much like in baseball and hockey, still owns your rights. So it's not like, oh, I got drafted by the Nets. I didn't really want to go here. I'll just go back to school for a year and try again next year. No. Like if you had decided to stay in the draft that year, that is your team. If you get drafted by the Nets, the Wizards, the Jazz, too bad, so sad. That's your team. Like and we'll grant you the 1 year to go to college, work on your game a little bit, and then you can come back.
That's not even so. That's your proposed rule, right? Mm-hmm. If you are drafted, you get 1 year of eligibility.
Yeah, if you get drafted,
come back.
Yeah, if you get drafted, you're still owned by that team,
right?
That drafted you. But since you decided to stay in the draft, you're not going to be punished for making that decision, but maybe if you were a freshman who had 4 more years of eligibility, now you only have one. So
Right.
you make that choice. It's like it's either this coming year or not at all. You
Right.
know, and I just think I don't think they should be like necessarily like punished for their decisions, but I understand that they're adults. They have to
And
be accountable, right?
this
But
is to address like the Charles Bediako guys from the G
Right.
League stuff. Okay.
right. Yeah, so like guys like that who obviously played in the G League for a little bit, like they're a little different, but let's go back in time a little bit to when they were drafted. Let's say Charles Bediako is just like, "Hey, like I'm not ready for this yet. Like I'm just going to be grinding in the G League. I could probably be better in 1 more year of college." And then you give him that one year of eligibility, and that's it. And it's like, sorry, you're still going to be a Nick, but you're going to get to play for Baylor for a year to improve
Right.
your game if you want, to make money if you need to. But you were still property of the college you decide to go to. And you're obviously still, your pro rights are obviously still property of whatever team drafted you.
You signed a contract with both the college and the sports team at that
Right.
point. I don't hate that. And your outline would then be, hey man, once you're drafted, you've got a 1 year like clock that starts. You can
Right.
play for whatever college you want. Once that year is up, though, it's pro or go home.
Yeah, it's now you're under our control.
Yeah.
I'm not saying make that rule for everyone, because obviously if like AJ Diabansa is just like, I don't want to play for the Wizards this year, like that would really suck for the Wizards, right? But at least
But they'd
they
still
would,
own his rights.
but they still own his rights, right? And it's not like, well, crap, like we just lost out on nothing. We got this first overall pick for nothing. It's like, no, we still have Diabansa. He declared for the draft. He went to the combine. He didn't hit the deadline where it's like, okay, I'm just going to go back to school, and you keep his eligibility. He's in this draft, so he's going to obviously get taken number one. So let's just say from there, it's like, all right, I don't want to play for Washington. I could probably benefit from another year at BYU, even though Diabansa, obviously, he'll be
You're
playing
right.
in the NBA. I don't want that rule to apply to like first round picks. Like I think if you're a first round pick, too
Once
bad.
you're drafted, you're out of
You're
college.
there. Yeah, and like that's where like maybe the rule is a little gray, and maybe where I need to clean it up. It's like, where does that cutoff begin? Is it
I
like
don't-
mid second round? Is it the second round? Like I don't know.
I don't mind it applying to first overall picks because most of them end up in the league anyways.
Correct. Yes, they will make that choice no matter what. But also too, if it's like if you're a Wizards fan, you're like, crap, do I have to wait another year for Diabansa? I wanted him
think-
now.
I guess the reason I'm not like I think you should have it for everybody regardless of where you're drafted because like that was how Larry Bird ended up on the Celtics. He was drafted, he went back to college, and then after that final season in college went to join the Celtics.
Yeah, so there you go. See, it's we can call it the Larry Bird rule.
the very very delayed Larry Bird rule.
Yeah.
That would be fine. It would address the like, hey, I want to come back thing. You'd probably have to have a caveat for like, what does it mean to be a EuroLeague player or an Olympian who has played professionally? So it's like, that might just be like once you enter college, like you're here, and if you play on a pro contract, your 1 year timer starts anyways. That plus the 5 year rule that they're floating around, I think is fine. I think it would clean up a lot of this actually.
Yeah, because it's just so dang messy. Like it's like the NBA, college basketball, they're messy bitches. Like we love them for that, but like it's just at some point we got to clean it up a little bit. And there's a lot of gray area with some of these like draft rules. And obviously there's guys who played in the NBA coming to college basketball now, signing like that's just too far. Like,
LSU, I'm looking directly
Yeah,
and squarely at you.
Will Wade, this is literally a segment.
This is the Will Wade rule. Fuck you.
The Will Wade rule. I love that. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
The counterpoint to that my dad has floated around is like, make the college players sign a contract. You want to be paid like a pro, you're going to be treated like one. Like
I think so. I think
commit
that's
to the
fair.
school for an amount of time, a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then you are in that contract. If it's a year, sick, man. You can go to the portal, you can come back afterwards, whatever, no hard, no foul. If you commit to us for 3 years and then in year 2 you blow up, hey, that sucks. We took a gamble on you, you took a gamble on us. We get you for year 3.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with, and maybe even like some rules where it's like, maybe they get one transfer, like just one. But I don't know. I think basketball's so weird where it's these guys don't stay long enough to even like have that rule.
I think the contract negates a need for transfer. I think that your rule probably negates the need for anything. Honestly, it negates the need for a 5-year eligibility too. I think. I like it. I'm a fan of it. I'd be interested to see if people would adopt that.
Well, I hope so. Well, do you have anything else, Cameron, before we wrap it up? Obviously, we went a little longer than expected just because of technical issues and other stuff. But
Did I do that? No, I'm good, man. I'm excited for the finals, man. Yeah. Wednesday. I'm gonna this show will be out before the finals start, so please like, subscribe if you haven't already. Fourth and Forever, we'll have some announcements coming up soon as I get the courage to tell the announcements. So we'll get to that once we get there. Coward.
Yeah. But yeah, so enjoy the NBA Finals. We'll have the NBA Draft coming up this month as well, Cameron. It's this month, right? Later this month?
I think so.
Wow, man. So we got a lot of NBA coming up this month. Very excited. These next few weeks are going to be very exciting, though. But again, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy these finals. Cameron, thank you for joining me as always. This has been Fourth and Forever. We will see you next time.